Alrighty, here we are again. More industrial shenanigans. The organization system that I think every base should have. So, uh, yeah, let's try to explain what's going on here. So, you're going to be dropping loot into the drop box, and it's just going to be piping the loot up into your base, or up and down into your base in this case. So, weapons, resources, comps, and it even on the system here, I've added a little rent payment system conveyor. So, and so it puts the M2 on the roof and pays your rent and organizes your loot for you. So, let's just get right to it. So, you want to get your boxes all in order. And in this case, I'm just using the Meta 4 box and 1 cell system that I claim. I take no credit for this system. I can't even remember which video I watched, but to whoever did show me that, thank you. I wish I could share who actually showed me it, but I mean, there's so many things you learn in this game, and I've watched so many YouTubers. Like I wouldn't be anything without watching other players play the game. But anyways, so you want to get the distribution system, kind of like in the Rocket Factory video. I mean, it's pretty identical. The splitters into conveyors. And then I put a conveyor here to pay the rent. So you won't be logging in and you forgot to put the resources in the base. You had to log out in a frantic rush. So it's good to have that. So in order for a distribution system to work, you got to combine up all these boxes. The output into these combiners, and that will allow you to use the distribution system on every box that's in your loot room. So maybe you have like 8 boxes, or maybe you got 16 or whatever. It just means more combiners, and then you'll get to that final turn one pipe, or turn a bunch of pipes into one pipe, and then you can just feed that into the distribution setup here, which is basically the same thing on the other side of the wall. And make sure you flip the conveyors the proper way so the output is on the proper side. So buttons on the bottom, output on the right. In this case, it's buttons on the side, output on the top, but yeah. So just want to wire all these up, and it's pretty self-explanatory. The power in to electrical branch out to the next conveyor, and so there's 9 conveyors, so you're gonna need 9 rust watts of charge on that branch. And so if you're building this base, it does help to put a battery right here, and you want to have auto crouch enabled as well in the console. You type in auto crouch and just make sure it's set. It would just help you in a base like this with the half wall jumps. So from the power source, you're going to go into this branch, and so if you set up the branch properly, they should all be red. And so you want to set up the filters now on these conveyors. So just whatever your TC rent payment or bill, you want to set that up. And so now for the distribution to organize the loot, you want to connect these conveyors to the input on all the boxes, and that will just allow for whatever it is that you set that filter to go into that specific box. So doesn't really matter which one you hook up. Just you could use the pipe to see. If you click on the output, you can see which box it's going to, and if you are, or you just use a paint can, maybe respray the boxes. But so you want to set up the filters. Facepunch did put in groups, filter groups, so it does make it easier setting that up, sort of typing in each item. So from here, you're just going to go Dropbox right to your core system. So that might be difficult to, depending on the length of pipe that might be required, you're going to need a little expansion combiner. And that'll give you like another 20 feet or 25 feet of pipe, in case you do run into some issues. I tried using a conveyor, an additional conveyor, but it just bugged out the system. So you're going to have to use like the combiner or the splitter. So you just run that all the way down to your core, or wherever your core's at, and plug it into the system. And it's basically almost done. Make sure everything's all green here. Make sure it's all online, turned on. And what else is so? You're gonna have to open up like a bunch of doors. So if you don't have a system like this, normally I make a base that's got 9 doors or 8 doors, which turns out to like 33,000 sulfur grade if they do go by the doors. So it's really good to have some sort of system like this in a base. I feel like every base should have this type of system, but it can be a little complex to set up. So in order to start distributing loot around your base, just go to one of the available conveyors that you have free and pipe that loot wherever you want it around your base. And you can set a filter so it makes sure there's always one of that item or whatever it is. So in this case, I'm trying to put an M2 and 100 rounds into the locker here. So whenever the heli comes around, you're not frantically running around. You're like, where's the M2 at? Or, you know, you just like go up to that locker. Maybe console kill, there's a bed up there, and boom, you got your like heli fighting kit right there, ready to go. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. I know it's a little complex, this one, but yeah, it's a simple organization system. Hope you guys got some value out of this, and like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.